This is Jed MacKay, and you're listening to Into the Night, the Moon Knight podcast.
Yes, welcome back, Looney listeners. You are listening to Into the Night, the Moon Knight podcast. This is episode 287, and you are with both of your high priests of Khonshu, Rebecca. Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, your two priests are back, and we have. Last time we were here, Rebecca, we were doing a new comic book, but we're here again to do another one.
But now we're going back to the old comic book.
Going back to the old and new comic book.
It feels really good to be back to it. Like, I've obviously loved the show, loved the Black, White and Blood, and I know we had a comic in the middle of that, but that was chaos in our lives. Yes. We embraced the chaos. But it's nice to kind of get back, especially as like where the story's going. Like we're going up to that sort of finale of the big arc in 12.
Yes.
So like we're getting really close now. So it was really nice to get back into it, and
it is.
Can't wait.
Oh my gosh, we will dive into it. Looney listeners, it feels like slipping on a nice pair of shoes, if that's I mean that in the best sort of way. Without glass. A nice pair of Crocs. Before we go any further, yes, we are live streamed at the moment, so you can catch us on all our social media platforms, or you could be listening to us a little bit later on the podcast version.
And I apologize for ruining StreamYard, so Ray can't show you pages from the comic this time.
No,
we're having technical difficulties, I think is the official way of putting it. So
yes,
you'll have to like try and spot all the things in the background of my room. To keep you occupied instead.
Or, hopefully you've got your copy in front of you.
Read along
at home.
with us.
Read along as well. And so, as Rebecca alluded to, we are very much on video, on visuals as well. So if we have visual references, podcast listeners, please note that we've got a live video. Speaking of which, Rebecca, I wanted to ask about your shirt, because it's
the Howard the I'm back in the Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck. There we go. Yes, I see it. So, lovely. I know a couple of guys will be very happy to see that. And speaking of which, thank you, Russell. Yes, I did get it in time, but you'll be glad to see the Howard the Duck there on Rebecca's shirt. Now, listeners,
I would stand up, but I'm too lazy. So.
Look, I think we can see it.
You can see the little H. It's good.
You can see the H. Yeah, and the hat, I think. I think. Listeners, this is a Moonshine, as we mentioned. It's a new comic book review, so we'll be doing Moon Knight Volume 9, Issue 11. It's going to be fantastic, and as mentioned, live streamed, and you're with both Rebecca and myself. A big shout out to all our patronies, of course. A big thank you to everyone supporting the show. Rebecca and I, we get to do this off the back of your generosity, so a huge thank you. We love doing it. A little bit of coaxing to Rebecca to go the video, but Rebecca, it's awesome.
I just don't care anymore. Like, it's got totally. I thought you meant coaxing to get me to record during my work day, but no.
Oh yes,
that
right.
It did take
that
a
as
while
well.
for me to accept the video.
No, but a big thank you to everyone obviously involved. A big thank you to our principal sponsors as well: Drew Toombs, Daniel Doing, and Frank the Think Tank. Also, Odin Sword, our Marc Spectre tier. Oh no, Moon Knight tier, Looney. So Odin will be top tier. Yeah, we'll be expecting some goodies every 3 months, I think, from Patreon. So with Odin's tier, I think every 3, 6, 9, 12 months he'll get something by way of ITK merch, which is very exciting. So
that is very exciting.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Odin, as well as CLZ Comics from Collectors and Dreamland Comics from Schoenberg, Illinois. So Rebecca, as mentioned, hang on, I always forget this thing, so let me just put that up there for the video. Hi, President Rebecca and Rey, and let me put that up there. We're doing a Moonshine because I always forget. And as mentioned, it's Killing Time Part 1. we'll get into that
Oh,
anyway.
is that what it's called? Nice. I never.
Yeah.
You should all know by now that I do not pay attention to what comics are called. I'm always like pleasantly surprised that they have cool names. Killing Time Part 1. Very
Killing
good.
Time Part 1. So are we ready, Rebecca, to get into this?
Yes. And
Let's do
even
it.
more happy. I don't think there's a summary today, right?
Oh, there's a long one. So I'm going to do something a little different. We'll
Okay.
do a bit of improv. Okay.
Okay,
So
we'll do an improv one. Yeah.
Okay, this is our Moonshine. So as mentioned, The Killing Time Part 1, released May 26th, 2022. Writer Jed MacKay, of course, Alessandro Cappuccio, and colorist Rachelle Rosenberg with letterer Cory Petit. I got this off the Wiki fandom, Rebecca, so they only gave us this. So editors, I'm assuming Tom Brevoort. Yeah, same as always.
No one cares.
Yeah.
Sorry, editors, we care. We care.
What I do have though is we've got the regular cover. Let me chuck that up for all our viewers, by Cory Smith and Rachelle Rosenberg.
Yeah, love that one.
Now we do have some variants. Now, Rebecca, have you got some variants coming your way, or you just
No.
You just keep that?
No, yeah. I only buy variants when I don't like the main cover.
Yeah, fair enough.
So there's only been like a couple this run I've bought.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I know I'm going to buy the trade as well.
Of course. And you'll get it as well. Well, I have to, Rebecca, my home country calls for it. So we got one here.
Yeah, you had to get that one.
Dyke Ruin. It's an AAP heritage cover. So this, as you can see in the video, is of Wave, one of the first Filipino superheroes. Yeah. So I love it.
Big respect.
Absolute mastery over water and all that jazz. Really cool.
And it has tentacles on the cover.
And suckers, Rebecca. You can't go wrong with speaking of suckers, Rebecca, I wonder if you're partial to this one. No, not that one.
I do like that one though.
That one's a good one. This Rob Liefeld cover. We got Rob Liefeld.
I know. It's fine. It's honestly fine. I'm not a Liefeld art fan, and
no worries.
For better for worse, I think this is actually fine. One of his better things.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty good. I note the feet again are missing, but hey, that's me.
Probably a good thing.
As I kind of flashed up before, this one is by Francesco Manna.
The scroll variant. Yeah, I don't think I saw this one in advance. I quite like it, but
I quite like it too. It's pretty cool. So
it's a shame we don't have. There's no particular reason for a scroll variant at the moment. I guess it was supposed to be maybe for Secret Invasion, but yeah.
Well, that's way ahead, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, because they even cancelled the comic for now. So.
Oh, they have as well. Oh, God.
Yeah, it's been pushed back. I don't know for how long. So.
Okay. Well, this one for podcast listeners, just Moon Knight flying from the rooftops, but it's a scroll face on him. So, and finally, of course, the man, the myth, the legend. Yes, Bill Sienkiewicz, his version as well, which he always manages to come up with some. Like he did it with the Black, White, and Blood, just a really cool
it's just
way.
Beautiful, but like I'm sure that was a more expensive one.
Probably yes. I closed the tab. I had all of the information on. I decided to close it, and there you go. So Russell, his early morning. Thank you, Russell. Good morning.
And he's with me on Liefeld. Obviously,
he's with you on Liefeld. He's and Skrull Mooney kind of
looks. He does look a bit. He does. Just needs a slightly more colourful outfit. It'd be
true. No, thank you, Russell. So you can catch this latest issue, on digital, of course, through the Marvel app or through Kindle, and you could also just get it in the floppy format, which we just showed all the covers, so you can choose at your leisure. Now, Rebecca, as usual, we have a bare bones. This one is kindly supplied to us by Monsieur Wiki.
Yes, big fan.
Big fan, Monsieur Wiki. It's a little long, Rebecca, so what I thought, if you're up for it, and I love throwing you into the deep end, So I will be in post. I will be putting up the usual background music, but you don't have to read this lengthy synopsis if you want to just kind of riff off it and just give us a.
Probably easier for me to just read it, but I'll see how it goes. Just because I don't know how my brain's working right now.
Okay.
So I apologize, everyone. Are you ready to begin? Are you comfortable? Then we'll begin. It feels like Listen with Mother.
I know. Yeah. Get the hot cocoa. Yeah.
Arriving in New Jersey, overlooking the warehouse Waxman confessed to holding Dr. Sterman in, Moon Knight talks about the rules of engagement with Tigra and Rutherford Winner. Moon Knight prioritizes Andrea's rescue, even at the cost of losing Zodiac, as tonight has been ugly and Marc has no qualms about making it any uglier. As the trio make their way deeper, they find Andrea in Jigsaw's custody, being threatened with torture, angry at Moon Knight's last attack on him, and narrating the fact that he's been recruited by Zodiac. It's just Jigsaw doing a villain monologue. Tigra puts on Marc's cowl to distract him, which is everyone gets a Moon Knight costume this issue. Everyone gets one. So Tigra puts on Marc's cowl. Jigsaw realizes too late it was a trap. Marc blindsides him and beats him the hell up until Dr. Sterman has to stop him. She talks about her past exposure to violence, and then Zodiac comes onto the speaker system to sort of taunt Moon Knight a bit. Marc demands to settle the matter, and Zodiac says that he's standing outside the Midnight Mission. He's not going to go inside because he knows its nature, but he is going to kill Reese. So then Dr. Sterman starts questioning Zodiac's motives, and he starts talking about self-actualization, freedom, and Moon Knight being chained to friends, duty, and superheroes, and that's not what he thinks Moon Knight should be. We'll talk about that in a minute, about this interesting idea. So Zodiac wants to free Moon Knight from the shackles, but he says Moon Knight's too afraid to free himself. So the other rules that Zodiac comments on are from the Avengers, from his father, and from Khonshu. And he says Marc's only sticking up with them because he's afraid. Zodiac instead sees, I've got to read this out exactly as it is, sees Marc as the mad lad who loves violence and carving crescents into people's faces. That's the guy Zodiac likes. Reminding Zodiac the mission will be able to kill him if he goes inside, and Hunter's Moon can kill him outside. Zodiac's like going, hey, I already ambushed Hunter's Moon with my Zodiac cartel squad, which he hired with the money he stole from Stephen Grant in previous issues. I was going to try and guess an issue number, but let's not. And then he says that he's not going to go into the mission, but he sort of yells up at Reese, and he sort of tells Marc that he's going to start killing all their neighbors one by one if Reese doesn't come outside. And but then he tells Marc on the phone that he'll do it anyway. Not on the phone, over the speaker system. So Marc speaks to Reese and orders her to stay inside. But she's kind of like, oh no, but he's going to kill everyone. Tigra tries to troubleshoot some ideas, but they don't know how they're going to get back to the Midnight Mission quickly. Without any recourse and with some protests by Dr. Sterman, Marc decides to pray to Khonshu, the Pathfinder. And Khonshu comes when Marc eventually calls him father, and he agrees, but for a price. And Marc says, yeah, sure, pay it. He actually says, there always is. Outside the Midnight Mission, meanwhile, time is about to run out on Zodiac's deadline, so Soldier, who's there with Reese, is arguing with Reese not to leave. She bears fangs at him, but seems to actually back down. But then he says he has a plan for buying some time. Back in New Jersey, Marc returns, tells the others Khonshu's going to set a path. He tells Winner to stay with Dr. Sterman and tells Tigra to come with him. and then they open up some kind of portal and says, we're just going to have to keep running, like don't look back kind of thing. Before they go through, because he says something like, you're always on my side. Tigra tells Marc that T'Challa set her up to watch him. He's like, yeah, I know, blah blah blah, I love you, you're the best, come be friends, let's hold hands and run through this supernatural place. They go do that. You can tell I am riffing on this somewhere. The path opens, they go through, back at the midnight mission. We don't know what's gonna happen, and so Reese turns up. She's outside, she seems to have obeyed, and then what do we see? Mr. Knight shows up, which is a soldier disguised as Mr. Knight. And Zodiac looks a little bit surprised.
Yeah, no, Rebecca, I think that is very well done. Considering, like, thank you Tolstoy for dropping in that blurb at Wiki. It was monumental.
I know, that was so fast. Well done for getting it out so quickly.
Yeah, but you did well there, Rebecca. And of course, I didn't know Tolstoy uses words like lad, mad lad. So
mad lad. It's such a British thing. Like that would like totally fit in the TV show. That's what made me laugh. It's like, mad lad.
But I mean, before we put up one of the comments from one of our loonies here, John, because diving straight into it. Good morning, John. Rebecca, overall, what did you make of this issue without getting into too much detail?
Well, I mean, it's clearly a get to everyone to where they need to be for this final confrontation. I thought it worked really well. It reminded me totally of sort of back to the old days of episodic comics where they did have these longer story arcs, and it is kind of dragging it out and not dragging it out, but like delaying that gratification of that first punch and what Marc's actually going to do to Zodiac. And we did get him pretty brutally taking down Jigsaw.
Yes,
who knows if Jigsaw's still around. I mean, I assume so because we didn't see a body. But Jigsaw's not a small villain to have gone up against, and we know he's beaten him before, but so we got a little bit of action, but it's kind of nice for me to see Moon Knight planning.
Yes, well, I think that kind of comes out in the 4 anyway. I mean, we'll get to it with Tigra, as in not so much planning, but just like I guess planning ahead and like
having a strategy. I mean, I think it shows that what a good place Marc's mind is that he can he is now working against someone who's very chaotic, but he is wanting to keep this new family safe. He still doesn't know entirely what all their capabilities are, especially with like Winner and stuff, who he's only just picked up. Then the midnight mission he hasn't had for long. In fact, none of them he's had for long, but he now trusts them all enough to get to this place. And I appreciate we all want the end of this story now, but I kind of am enjoying that delayed gratification of it. Like, I think my expectations for next issue. But then having said that, every single time we've expected a big showdown, Jed has managed to sidestep us and give us something else, a different resolution. Wow. So I'm interested in seeing if this will be finally the payoff.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, everyone will be expecting a big payoff in this finale. This end of, as Jed actually put it, the end of year 1 for Moon Knight. Be very cool. I think I totally agree with you with this. So something very satisfying with this issue. I mean, it's in one sense, it's very predictable in the sense that it is setting up stuff for the final issue, but it still gives us, and this is, I guess, a constant with Jed's work, he still manages to surprise and add a little bit of really some cool touches, like Soldier dressed up as Mr. Knight at the end, just to kind of be a pretty cool touch. Also Tigra in the cowl, and this big thing about and I want to just lead in. So John's actually just said he didn't pick up on Soldier being dressed as Mr. Knight, the kind of the big thing at the end there. So well spotted, but. Also, the third big thing I thought was and maybe we can kick off with this, Rebecca, about
Yeah, I think it's an incredibly good question. It's the big question, really.
So John says, what do you guys think about Conchu? What does Conchu mean about the price? And I think this is one of the cool things. There are things that you can take away from this issue rather than it just being a setup for the finale. And this sort of stuff is really cool. So Jed just drops this in. I just saw this very akin to Doctor Strange, and not that it will be totally the same, Rebecca, but what did you think this price meant? I mean, obviously, if you want something, you have to pay something.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's obvious ones like freeing Khonshu, but that seems too obvious. I think the price might just be more metaphysical in terms of if we think back to the beginning of the run and it all being to do with what his interactions with Khonshu have done to his brain. Like, I wonder if he has to give up an element of that. I'm trying to find a way to phrase it that isn't like dodgy. Has to give up some of his newfound peace, I guess, with his mental health. Or give up I don't know. I mean, like, who knows? Think you're right. It's Khonshu. I mean, like, we also have, like, there's still Hunter's Moon out there, like, throwing a little bit of a... It's hard because, like, I'm trying to think, like, in a previous run, the price would have been lose someone you love or get cut off from something. This one just feels like it could be anything, and I kind of like the uncertainty of it.
I like the idea of what you just said about him losing that peace, because the first thing I gravitated towards was something similar or akin to Mephisto, right? Him losing a bit of himself and Khonshu maybe owning him a bit more, in that traditional sense, or him kind of claiming ownership of Marc. And as you saw on the TV show, it's like, Marc's bound or indebted to Khonshu. So maybe that debt is what the price is. So Marc
I mean, maybe it's like you have to do something that I tell you to do down the line, I mean, because I've come and done something you've told me to do, and we don't know what that could be. But I like that it's a setup that Jed can really do anything he wants with, and I kind of like that's there. It doesn't have to even have a plan for it now.
Yeah, and I like also as well how it's not just come out of the blue. Jed has set it up. Like, we saw it in the Hunter's Moon story, and Marc calls it out as well. He said that you may be imprisoned over in Asgard, but you still helped Hunter's Moon, so you can help me here as well. So I like that. It for us, it makes it a little bit more believable in that sense, rather than out of the blue. At this time, it would be, oh, how convenient that Khonshu can do this just to help Marc now. So we've already seen it. So I like how things have been built. I mean, I think a lot of the successes of Jed's writing is because he's built up stuff. He's considered stuff, and it's not just whimsical. There's actually something that you as a reader can look back on and go, oh gosh, yeah, I see it now. Even the thing towards the end of Soldier putting on the Mr. Knight costume as well. That, we know a bit more about Soldier now. We know where he comes from.
Yeah, we know he is looking for kind of redemption in a way, and if it's a suicide move, it's a sort of earned one. And obviously I don't mean it in that way, but if it's I'm willing to protect people to my death, let's put it that way, that's better. Then it's kind of deserved because we know how he's felt about himself in the past.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And as a cool thing, I don't know, do you think Zodiac bought it or not? A little bit of me was thinking,
I think he did. Like, he doesn't know.
I mean, little bit me thinking anyone could dress up as Mr. Knight, but like maybe.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe not. It's just like, I don't know. I mean, like, he also knows that, like, the Midnight Mission's supernatural, Khonshu's supernatural. I don't know. Sure. I mean, like, I know everyone loves Zodiac. I'm not gonna. I don't know. Maybe he will. Maybe that's the next thing that happens, is that he just slaughters him. And
I mean, we don't know. This is great because Jed, Jed just subverts all our expectations and speculations. Speaking of Zodiac,
Reese could vamp him.
Oh, how cool would that be? Reese hasn't got enough action. Like, I'd like to see her.
See, she could like vamp him to save his life. That's my new prediction. Don't listen to this, Jed.
That's awesome.
He's already written it. It's already
yeah, he's written it. Yeah. But again, Looney John. Sorry, John. I just call you Looney. Everyone's a loony. John says, I hope they don't kill Zodiac off. He's been phenomenal so far. Twisted, evil genius, always one step ahead, 5 steps ahead, he claims. I hope they don't kill him off and we get more of the character either in Moon Knight or in his own series in the future. So John's
I feel like
fan.
John is setting us up for all the things we want to talk about in order.
Yeah, exactly.
As if we've, as if we've kind of paid him for like, these are all the things we really want to. Right. So Zodiac. What did you think of Zodiac in this issue?
I thought he was good. I thought he kind of is consistent with Jed's writing in being this like annoyingly good villain in the sense that he is 5 steps ahead, and he puts Moon Knight in a position that is really like almost a lose-lose thing. Like, so he's done the whole I've distracted you and made you go on for Sterman. I'm not even there. That's Jigsaw. I'm actually in your old hood. I may not be able to get into your midnight mission, but I'm going to kill everyone here. And he says as well, he goes, seriously, it doesn't matter if Reese comes out or not. I will kill everyone here. And so, yeah, it's like he's put Moon Knight in a predicament with, oh my gosh, how does he deal with this like real wild dog? I mean, we've called him that before, and he's been penned in the run. But what did you think of him?
Right, so I'm not as big a fan of Zodiac as I think most people, but I don't dislike him. I think he's very good, but I think he has limitations. And there's something that there's a kind of theory brewing about how he's a lot of the things that I think some Moon Knight fans like about Moon Knight in terms of the chaos, the violence, but in a different setting and without that touch of God. I can't phrase it very well how I'm going at, but I particularly thought that there was something interesting in this issue was when he starts to define what he thinks makes Moon Knight.
Yes, yeah, that's a big thing as well,
and that's huge. And there's no reason why he should. He's like going, "Oh, you're tied down by these rules and these rules and maybe he's just Marc." Like, why should it be? And I know like Zodiac's the villain and whatever, but I think too many people are kind of going along with that and going, well, why isn't Marc a bit more like that? And it's like, no, like I'd like this Marc that can like make new friends and bring people and be violent when he needs to, but also like with 8-Ball and stuff, or not when he needs to. And like he goes in at the beginning of this and he's like, there's no rules. Like, literally just save Sterman. I don't care what else you do. Like, that's good for me. And it's just like, I found it really obnoxious that, like, I just started like going, why does he get to decide this? Like, what's good for Marc? And obviously that's why he's the villain, but like, and he's not to be reasoned with. But I think this was the issue where it was the most obvious how dumb his plan is. Like how his plan is just like, oh, I just want you to be just like me. And okay, like fine, that's enough motivation in this. Like, he's just a mischief maker, that's fine. But I just think there's something odd about that, about like him having all these traits that people sometimes ascribe to Moon Knight, but not necessarily to Marc.
Well, I mean, I like those parallels. I think that they're good, and actually, as you say, I think they highlight the lack of humanity for Zodiac. It shows his very surface level appreciation of Moon Knight.
Yeah, and it's also like, it's not really an argument about freedom or not, because most people wouldn't think that they're not free by choosing to do what they want in terms of violence or not. Like, or if say your parents tell you to brush your teeth before bed, you still do it when you're like 40 years old. You don't necessarily go, oh, that's because my parents told me to do it. By then you've kind of realized that. So like talking about his father's piety, and I mean, obviously he is restrained by Khonshu, or has been. So yeah, I find it really interesting, but I think this issue really flagged up like just how silly it is. And in a good villainous way, and it'll be very interesting.
Yeah, look, I agree with you in that regards as well. I just put it down to Zodiac's. He's not meant to be someone that we can necessarily like understand. He's just a little bit off. And yeah, what he values from Marc and Moon Knight is obviously not what you should value in people. You know what? He's taken the darkest aspects of. I mean, he talks about carving the moons and the foreheads and cutting the face.
He's taken really the bits that he likes.
Yeah.
I mean, it is like I don't know. I'm not gonna go there, but it's just feels like it's like a part of the fandom almost.
Well, yeah, I mean, it could be a commentary on that as well, a subtle commentary. But
on people who aren't actually fans and that's all they know about him. So like if we're gonna
very
do it that way,
superficial level of yeah. But I don't believe it's something that Marc is particularly proud of as well. Like these things that he's done, and I think we've seen the growth of him over the course of these 11 issues as well.
I mean, I do feel that he's a little bit proud that he has the capacity for it when he needs to, like when he wants to save a friend.
Yep.
You know, like when he says, "I don't care what you do, get Sterman."
Yeah.
Or like, "I don't care what we're gonna do, we're gonna rescue X." It's like I think he has that in him. That he's not like his dad, but I think, you know, but yeah, I think he's not necessarily proud of the other stuff.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. He's trod down that dark path, Rebecca. So I guess unlike many people, he can dip into there. You know, that darker
John's
side.
got a very interesting theory in the comments.
Yes, I was just holding back on this. So John's also said, I think Zodiac is another fist of Khonshu. To be honest. Said this for a while. Why target Moon Knight? Simply to bring Marc back to Khonshu and ask for help. Interesting. Yeah,
it's
John.
An interesting theory.
I think he might be. Yeah, I'm thinking he may be, if anything, at worst, a Fist of Khonshu wannabe. But I'm not sure if he's like he is an official or has. I mean, I don't know. I mean, anything.
I'm just putting it as that's interesting. I have literally no idea. Never considered it before. I could see Jed making it work, but I think Zodiac might just be a chaos animal.
Yeah, exactly. I think chaos animal. Yeah,
I
mean, as Jed was saying, there's no redeemable feature about this character at all. He's made to be the most despicable, and you know, he's what's the adjective, Rebecca? And anarchic.
Yes.
Anarchic and just chaotic. So I think this is where all this kind of weirdness comes from. And look, and it rubs people the wrong way. I mean, like the same way that we're looking at it and going, like, he's picking the wrong bits of Marc to really value. But that's him. He's a villain, as you say. So we don't necessarily have to understand his motives because, you know, sometimes
there are no motives.
You can't. You can't. Yeah. Very, very interesting that with him evaluating Moon Knight. I thought that was actually one of the main points of this issue as well. And it's kind of a reveal. I mean, like it's been alluded to, he wanted to save Moon Knight. He's done the whole kind of tropey thing. I don't want to kill you. I want to.
I want to make you
save you to be the best you can.
The best version of you.
Yeah. So I think we as reasonable people can understand that his motives are totally wrong. But yeah, that's a madman for you. So. What other points here, Rebecca? Key moments did you find? So far we've got Zodiac, and we also we touched upon the Mr. Knight at the end.
So finding out about Tigra.
Yeah, what did you think of that? Actually,
I mean, it's pretty much as we predicted, isn't it? Marc's like, "Yeah, fine, I knew about it. You're cool."
Yeah,
you know. I mean, it's like it's pretty much how we wanted it to play out. It's like, you're my friend. You do things for the right reasons. You obviously thought this was right.
Yeah,
and like, of course, no one's gonna leave me alone after Age of Khonshu. I mean, it's like, you know,
exactly. Yeah. He's smart. He's a smart cookie. I mean,
I'm glad because like I would have hated there to either be any anger or for Marc to not have realized that they'd be tracking him because of Age of Khonshu. So
yeah, I'd be a little I mean, the more I thought about it, the more I thought before reading this issue. I mean, the more I thought about it, the more I thought, yeah, like why wouldn't he know about Tigra? I mean, he's like one of the. I mean, the handbook of the Marvel Universe. He's meant to be a master strategist, as we were talking about before. He could read these sorts of things. He can put two and two together, as you said, Age of Khonshu. So I was just quietly happy that he, said yeah. And then the look of surprise on Tigra's face. It's like, yeah, well, Tigra, come on. He knows, but he's not mad at her, which is even the most important thing.
No.
He needed a friend, he said, and I think it speaks volumes that I guess he picked her over Winner to go through the portal. We don't even know. That's an exciting bit.
We don't even know yet exactly why he picked her, but maybe that is just because she's the one he trusts most.
Yeah, exactly. But that's another thing as well, Rebecca. I mean, just off the back of talking about Tigra, that portal that Khonshu creates for now, that's another exciting bit. I think that Jed's dropped in, all set up for the next the Pathfinder.
Very excited to find out how that plays into it.
What do you reckon?
We've not had that before.
A bit of multiverse, madness vibes from it.
I'm really excited by it. Honestly, I'm
deities.
I have no idea.
I have no idea as well. I mean, we know that it'll take him instantaneously to Zodiac, but in their time, it might be drawn out. It might be a good few hours. But
I mean, he hasn't got long to wrap it up. So, but it could be a couple of pages.
Yeah. So I don't know. Plenty to really think about. Plenty to think about there actually as well. There is a little snippet. I'm just trying to. I'll bring it. Apologies again, video. We don't have the visuals.
Oh, we're going to the path.
I was just going to the comic, and here again, I just got to talk about Cappuccio's art yet again. I mean, he's seems to be a master of Moon Knight, but even everyone else looks great.
But this panel where they enter the path, like, do you remember like in issue 1 where we were like going, oh, I don't know how he is on backgrounds. Just incredible background.
Oh yeah, the background critique is long gone. I think, but that is it. Let's having a little look here. Hopefully, listeners, you've got your comic in front of you as well,
and the coloring as well. Oh,
it looks like an old church or something, or I don't know what it is that you go through.
Pillars, some stone building with pillars.
It's
a temple,
and it's and it looks like it's got hieroglyphics as well.
Yeah,
hieroglyphs on there. So. Yep. I guess we'll see. Maybe we'll see Tawara.
And they're holding hands. And not only are they holding hands, but Tigra's tail is wrapped around Marc's arm, which is.
I got to say as well, I pretty much like. You don't see it that clearly, but I like Tigra's uniform. It's obviously it's not a bikini, but it's now grey and white, which is pretty cool. And I'm not sure about I don't know what you call them, the openings like on her upper thigh from the leotard. Probably can do without that, but
hip gaps. I don't know, what do we call them with Kate Bishop, whatever they are.
Yeah, but that, I mean, it looks pretty cool. And then, oh my gosh, the splash pages of Khonshu as well.
Geez, that is so stunning. Just from when he drops down into the prayer to the actual splash page. I mean, like, I think somebody said to Cappuccio at the time, it needs to be a print, and it does need to be a print. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you, Mario. Hip windows, absolutely. That's a great way of putting it
windows.
There. Alessandro Cappuccio, if you're listening, I'd love that page, please.
No, I think you should send it to me because I'm nearer.
Well, the high priest will
share custody.
Compete. Yeah, true. But it's fantastic. And again, I mean, how many times have we spoken about the treatment of the color and like the lighting effect? Like when Moon Knight's just
everything about the art is stunning in this issue.
It's really cool.
And
he's got the glow.
There's so many color palettes.
Mm-hmm.
It's just incredible. All the yellows as well, right throughout. Really good.
Yeah. Another thing as well, I guess, like to point out the costume. When Moon Knight gives the cowl to Tigra, first of all, Tigra looks kick-ass with her green eyes with the hood over her head, because you just get that kind of sliver of her orange and red hair.
Orange hair,
and then you see the hands of Moon Knight behind Jigsaw. But how cool is Moon Knight without the hood and cape? He kind of looks more like Hunter's Moon, obviously with just the head, and no cape. But yeah, I just thought he looked really good in this. And again,
he's
I think
drenched in blood in that last panel. I didn't even realize. He's
he is
absolutely dripping with blood.
But I think just the way that Cappuccio draws it, I think
I
he's
love
really
it.
he's made it his own. But it's not just the replication of the Shelby armor.
No.
You know, it's his own costume. So yeah, no, really, really cool. John as well says, or maybe Zodiac, or maybe he's Frenchie breaking Marc. Oh my gosh, John, you're diving deep. This is getting revenge for how Frenchie was broken. I love conspiracy theories or who's behind
Yeah, I can
the mask.
tell. But I mean, it's a great one. But like, no, because
yeah.
I don't believe that any comics person wouldn't resist the urge to do an accent. They'd be like, "Oh, Marc, I need to break you."
Who better to know where to hit Marc where it hurts? Absolutely, as well. So, fantastic stuff there. Rebecca, any other, I guess, points here?
I mean, I think we've covered the biggest ones.
Yeah, I think they were the main. I mean, speculation as to whether Mr. Knight, what will happen. We've covered Zodiac. Will he just? Oh, that would be brutal if he just kills Soldier.
I know. I'm sorry I even suggested it. It's not what
I like your idea. Maybe off panel, Rebecca, he's already been turned by Reese, and then he just comes out.
Maybe that's what happened in between. Reese was like, "I'll vamp you." Yeah, that'd be perfect. Yeah. Even better. I was going to suggest that at the time, but I was like, no, that would be like, we don't get her to try and do the kiss of life, and then just.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, one of the things we didn't talk about, and we get a version of the Zodiac cartel now here as well.
Yeah.
So although they're kind of nondescript,
they look kind of like standard henchmen.
Yeah, they did. I just immediately kind of got excited at the vibe of, the Defenders, the classic Defenders with the Zodiac, like the real Zodiac.
Yeah.
And so I thought, has he kind of come up with like 11 other? I don't know. I don't know if he did, but I don't think he did.
They all look like they play a lot of Fallout and stuff like that, and BioShock and things like that.
Yeah. I'm just trying to pull it up here on my iPad. Yeah. There's a few of them are dead.
There's a lot of half-bald, like half-shaved head people, and
it's kind of very Mad Max, isn't it? Kind of.
Yeah, it is very Mad Max. Yeah.
Yeah, but
to you and your Australian roots.
But we might. I mean, as you say, we might get the big showdown at the end. There's someone with it looks like a hockey stick.
Yeah.
And Jed and his Canadian. A little touch to the Canadian sport there. Is hockey, did that start in Canada? No, probably not.
I don't know where it started, but they certainly big into it.
Yeah, very big into it. But yeah, so that was good. And I guess lastly, Rutherford Winner, Rebecca didn't really have that much of a role, but he did.
No, he was useful though.
Useful, yeah. He
Look, I'm all for Jed bringing characters he likes that he's created. So,
absolutely.
Rutherford's an interesting one, and it's an interesting parallel with Soldier as well. So,
I hope they keep this band together, and I hope in subsequent series that we do get a bit more play with them. So, I mean, again, we're talking about the absence of Frenchie and Jenna and all that, but it will be good to have maybe all of them in future issues. Also got the line of
he did, when he was talking about being in an asylum, right?
Yes, yeah, very much so. Yeah, when it's done good. Well, Rebecca, if you want to, I mean, let's give this. I see you've put the rating on there already. Well done. Yeah. Let's cap this off then before we get into some night lines. But what would you give this? The Killing Time Part 1 of
Part 1. I gave it 8.5. With the only real downside is that we all want to know what happens next.
Yes, true. 8.5 is a very high mark. I was hovering around there. I was thinking of going a bit crazy and going the 9, going the full moon.
I almost went the full 9 as well, but I just thought I'd hold back.
It's just, I mean, as I mentioned at the beginning, it's just something satisfying about it. It's not like it's part of a whole. It's not like something that's a brilliant kind of one-off issue that is is so deep and stuff, but it just
But it's
works
just like, and
so
it pulls you
well.
right back into the story as well.
Doesn't
So
it? It doesn't
you know,
it?
it deserves the 9 if you give it the 9.
Yeah, I'll give it a 9. Let me put that in there before I forget. Otherwise, I'm gonna. So that's a full moon, Rebecca. You've got approaching a full moon on the Konishu rating system. So well done there. Well, I mean, do you want to go to?
Yeah,
and I have to.
You can
Let's
start
go to
this time.
Let's go to some night lines. Here we go. We're on night lines here. And we got some feedback. Thank you very much. Mostly from our Facebook group, a couple from Instagram. And I think one of the loonies is here with us now, Mario, has been on the show before. And so Mario writes, this is a tricky one to review because on the one hand, not a lot happens. Dr. Sterman gets rescued and Zodiac sets up one more, possibly final test. On the other hand, however, a lot of dominoes are set up. Marc asks Khonshu for a favor, knowing that will indebt him to the god. Tigra reveals her duplicity. Love that Marc worked it out right away and his reason for not saying anything. I think I ship Moon Tiger now. I always do. And Soldier. There's a term among manga fans that applies here, death flag. His decision at the end is one that may very well cost him his life, what you said, Rebecca.
Yeah.
But given what we know of his backstory, it fits. He has a checkered past and he may see this as a way to atone. I hope he survives, though. I like him. I like him too as well.
I like him too.
But
I hope
it would
he's
have...
a vampire. I mean...
But it would have a massive impact. I think it will be such a gut wrench that if he does get offed. I wonder if we'll learn his real name. His choice in this issue suggests he doesn't see himself as just a soldier following orders anymore.
That's really nice. I would like to get to know his name.
Yeah. And then finally, Mario says, there are other comments I could make, but it's almost time for work. So I'll just finish off by saying 9 out of 10. And I can't wait to see what issue 12 brings. It's going to be a long 4 weeks. My gosh, it's so long between drinks. Thank you, Mario.
Drinks.
Yeah.
There's no real laugh.
But thank you, Mario. No, great points. And I like the idea that you're saying he's not a soldier following orders anymore. He's actually gone.
Yeah. If he doesn't get vamped, then I hope we get really emotional. This was his name, and then a lovely funeral.
And Reese then just beating the hell out of Zodiac.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And freeing Hunter's Moon because he freed her previously.
Oh, true.
So that's a nice parallel.
Oh yeah, he's unconscious when
and chained up. Why not?
Chained up. We have another one that's currently here as well, I think, unless he's popped off.
John Marsden. I'm sick of waiting 4 weeks for the next issue. Why can't they be daily? It was a slow burner for me, this series, but the last few issues have got me gripped. I hope they don't kill Zodiac off. He's twisted, and I love that. Also, love him or dislike him, Rob Liefeld's Moon Knight cover is the best cover since the Alan Quah #1. Hope one day to meet him and get it signed with a Moon Knight balloon. I hope you do too. I'm all for people having favorite artists and stuff like that, and I'm sorry, I'm not his biggest fan.
Oh look, and
but I do think this is one of the best Liefeld covers I've seen.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my favorite's still the Captain America with the side-on profile.
Don't even, Ray.
Anyway, I jest. No, but thank you, John. Great to hear your live comments as well. It's been cool to interact.
Yeah, definitely.
Great to interact with people while we discuss as well. Derek Scott Plummer, he writes in, loved it. I really like Zodiac in this one. I wasn't super high on him prior, but just his chaoticness is fun. While a little cliche, I liked his motivation and I thought it was handled well. Acts as a good opposite to Marc. Yeah, I mean, so there's so many, I guess, parallels, Rebecca, and we did kind of touch upon it with him finding what he likes about Moon Knight and you saying about Zodiac being very akin to Moon Knight in his worst possible way. But yeah.
All right,
and then hang on, we've got another high priest.
We got a special visitor for Noel's feedback. Let's see if I can actually scroll as I'm doing this. Terrific issue. Was a hair confused about how someone was with Marc on his team to rescue the Doctor. Totally forgot about Winner. Oh, who was with Marc on his team to rescue the Doctor? Totally forgot about Winner. Once I put 2 and 2 together and remembered him, too long between issues, it clicked into place. There wasn't a lot of action, but I love the trick Tigra and Marc pulled on Jigsaw. Clever writing and visual storytelling, almost horror movie-like. I got a little bored with the long phone call between Mooney and Zodiac, but once Moon Knight decides to contact Conchi to go save Reese, man, that whole page is gorgeous.
Oh,
It
jeez.
seems like that's 10 minutes in a film that's full of tension right before the big payoff, and I love that. I love Reese's bravery. Even though I think we all knew Marc knew why Tigra was there, the payoff felt good. Good to know that Marc isn't that stupid. That last splash page, the art and colours are again fantastic. I'm loving Jed's voice for both Moon Knight and Zodiac. This run feels great. All in all, great issue. 8.5 out of 10. A big yellow duck.
Hey. So Rebecca, we both echoed some
I know,
Mooney's
like
ratings as well.
that doesn't happen that often. So
yeah, no, well done. And yeah, Noel, it's funny, Noel. Funny, I love it. No, it just sorry, Noel. It just reminded me of when we watched episode 4 of the Moon Knight TV show, and Noel said, "Oh yeah, it just dragged a little bit when when Layla was like going across the ravine, but then it got good." It reminded me. No, but thank you. 8.5 as well, and yeah, just a good. The colors, we can't say it enough. It's now we also got one from Lena. So big shout out to Lena as well. Always active in the group and in the ITK community. So Lena says, I was a bit disappointed at first that we didn't get the final battle between Moon Knight and Zodiac in this issue, but actually what we got was very interesting. I should have realized, of course, Zodiac is too clever to actually be there at the location where he was keeping Dr. Sterman. I love finding out also that Moon Knight wasn't stupid about Tigra spying on him. I almost said Tigra.
We've both been pronouncing it different ways. Like I've gone Tigra throughout and you've gone Tigra throughout. We're covering all our bases.
Yeah, pleasing all fan bases. I'm glad that the reveal didn't split up their relationship. Yeah, me too. I also love the fact...
Ray. Friendship.
Oh, sorry. What did I say?
Freudian.
Oh, it is a Freudian. I think it was a Freudian. Sorry, it did say friendship. I said relationship. What does Ray reckon? Anyway, I also love the fact that they tricked 2 villains in the same issue with fake Moon Knights. Yeah. Also the fact that Marc had to call on Khonshu again and place himself in that stupid pigeon's debt again. I figured something like that would happen sooner or later, and it will be very interesting to find out what comes next. I'm looking forward to issue 12, but I'm really looking forward to issue 14. Yeah, if you're wondering why I said that, check out my Twitter and at DougVincent1138. I think we can say it. I mean, it's on Twitter, right, Rebecca? So we're not spoiling it.
That's the one that Lena has been
consulting.
Helping Jed with in terms of consulting on DID.
Yeah. So it's cool anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a massive thing, Lena, as well, but it's just cool to know that we're getting beyond 12 as well. Like 14. How cool is that? So, and I think that's got a lot more vampires. Is that right, Rebecca?
I think we're getting vampires in 13, maybe.
Yeah, Vampire War or something.
Not sure. Yeah, there's some because Reese has made everyone vampires.
Well, I was about to say that's good. It will potentially shift the focus on Reese a bit, which will be cool to see, like to learn more about. And yeah, Rebecca. So we got one final one. Yeah,
I assume that's from Russell,
our friend Russell Moran.
It's all right. If just to explain, Ray did not put who posted it, but I'm assuming
I didn't
it's Russell,
know. I was like baiting Rebecca.
No. Russell popped in and said he'd just left feedback, which is how I know it's him. Last minute feedback, so it might be disjointed. I loved it. It was cool seeing Jigsaw, but cooler seeing him get his ass kicked. If you're American. So glad my theory was correct. Zodiac wants Mooney to be the sadistic lone wolf he was in Houston Run. Zodiac continues to be masterfully written villain with the perfect balance of malice and dark humor. His plan is like the Kobayashi Maru for Marc, but Zodiac doesn't know who he's messing with. He's kind of disappointed to see Hunter's Moon beat down so early in the character's life, but it added to the drama. Finally, the Tigra Mooney moment made me well up with tears. It was truly beautiful. Loved it. Can't wait for the finale. 9.
Yeah, thank you, Russell, so much. And yeah, the thing about Tigra and Mooney, it's not often like you see Marc holding, like just that holding hands thing was such a
lovely. It's so lovely.
Big thing. Yeah. Like
and Mario is right in the comments. He says we could just call her Greer.
Yeah,
but then,
exactly.
where's the fun in that?
Where's the fun? Yeah.
Somebody actually did say Greer in their feedback, but I don't know if we've got to that yet. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Mate. Oh,
maybe.
Well, maybe I
just read it somewhere. Oh, maybe it was in the wiki summary.
It's on all the other Moon Knight
but I just
pages.
No, the one you just made me read.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I hope Russell's very glad that I watched Star Trek and knew that was Kobayashi Maru.
Yeah, I have no idea what that was.
Stumble over that either. So
I thought that was the guy from The Usual Suspects.
No,
it's Kaiser Snowsay.
It's an impossible situation, and Kirk's the only one who's ever got out of it.
Some Trekkie fans, and we know that Moon Knight and Marlene are Trekkie fans from the Marc Spector Moon Knight run. So
there you go.
No, thank you so much, Russell. Just I can't laud Tigra and Moon Knight on the page enough. They should. Makes me want to actually get the. I was talking to Phil. Makes me want to get the. I always want to get the Hasbro, the Marvel Legends Tigra figure.
Oh, got to get it now.
Well, make them hold hands. Yeah, I'll make them smooch.
I have to say, my Iron Fist and my Misty Knight are holding hands.
Oh, We'll see. Yeah. Well, we won't be the only ones. Yeah. Actually, we do have a couple of bits of feedback still left. Sorry, Rebecca. Instagram ones. They're short and sweet. One's here from Victor Goncalves 10. And Victor says, I freaking love this run. This issue kept me wanting for more and more. Zodiac is such a good freaking villain. Certainly is, Victor. Thank you so much. And yeah, Zodiac, Jed, he knows. I mean, Zodiac isn't even Jed's creation, but I think he has kind of owned him now with this.
I mean, he's certainly written more of him than anyone else at this point. Yeah.
But he's done really well. I mean, even that Zodiac, the Dark Reign Zodiac was very well written, I thought. I mean, Zodiac was such a dangerous, scary villain. Jed just picked up the ball and ran with it as well, and he's created such a fantastic villain. So thank you, Victor. And Rebecca,
Infernum Comics. Hey, Ray, have you checked out Chip and Dale on Disney Plus? It has an appearance from a Moon Knight related character multiple times. It's so weird.
Do you know what that is, Rebecca?
I do know what that is.
Someone was talking to me.
Yeah, who is it? Tigra.
Oh,
from the cancelled cartoon. And she
wow.
And she's in it a considerable amount of time.
Wow.
And has a fairly big part in it. So, yeah.
Gosh, I was
because
talking
Ray may not have watched it, but I have watched it.
Yes. Thank you, Infernum Comics.
Yeah.
Someone was telling me about Chip and Dale, and I said, oh, yeah, I've seen the ad on Netflix or whatever it is.
It's actually pretty fun. It's a lot more fun than it probably has the right to be.
Okay. So, she's got a big role in it. Okay, I'm watching it. If she's got a big role in it.
Yeah.
I'm in. So, no, but thank you so much. Infernum Comics, it's great. A nice one to end on. So if you want to see more Tigra, Greer, just check out Chip and Dale. When you said Chip and Dale first, Rebecca, I had a little bit of a smirk.
They make a joke in the film as well.
Oh, do they? Okay. Fair enough. Just that this movie sounds like it's got it all. That's fantastic.
It has a lot.
Well, that about wraps it, I think, Rebecca.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Any other final thoughts on this issue?
I think like everyone we can't wait till 12, really.
Yeah. And look, I might as well. I mean, of course, it is no secret. So after issue 12 as well, Rebecca, we will have again Jed on the show.
Nice.
Thank you so much, Jed. I've been hassling him, of course, but he reached out just recently and said, "Oh, look, you guys still want to do a year one and a issue post issue 12." I said, "Oh, hell yeah!" So shortly after that drops, that Rebecca and I will do, we'll probably keep it separate, won't we? I was about to say we do a review of issue 12 and then we'll have another chat with Jed.
Yeah.
That would be cool. But I mean, there's nothing to be afraid of. I think we're all pretty much loving his run. So so that's everyone's a winner there. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. That will be towards the end of June. And spectacle wise, I just want to give a shout out to again the boys over at TV Podcast Industries. I'll be jumping on with John and Derek over the weekend, talking with them about the about their Moon Knight wrap up. So they covered also the Assembled.
Which I haven't watched yet, so I'm gonna watch.
We should do that as well, Rebecca. If
we
you
can do that.
You've got time,
I'll watch it over the weekend. So
yeah, we'll find some time to do the sit down and then have a good old chat about that. It's a remarkable behind the scenes. I love it. So keep an eye on TV podcast industries as well. Please do. And next phase, episode 288. Look, I'll have to look at the phase of the moon. Otherwise, it may be, Rebecca and myself, we might do an assembled review, the making of Moon Knight. Thank you, Ozzy. Wow.
He literally just tried to chew the microphone for anyone not watching.
Yeah. That's awesome. Our honorary fourth high priest, Khonshu.
Yeah.
So next episode, just keep your eyes peeled on our social media. We'll figure out what we will. Oh, Rebecca is almost lost in a sea of black fur. Just describing to the podcasters who may not know, but hear the muffled sounds. A big thank you once again to our patroonies. I'm going to say it again to Odin, Daniel, Drew, Frank, Justin, Derek, Wayne, Jordan, Josh, James, Anthony, Russell, Michael, Mario, Gavin, and Matthew. And thanks so much for the likes of John and Mario and Russell who have joined us for the live stream, dropping in their thoughts.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, it's always awesome. You can become a Patreon member, patreon.com/ITK Moon Knight. Go check it out. Look at the fantastic incentives. Maybe you want to be like Odin's Sword and get some stickers, tote bags, t-shirts, and hoodies, all as part of the tier. Also, as well, a big thank you to CLZ Comics. Check out collectors.com. Fantastic database. They're consistently upgrading their stuff. They've got now cards, graphic grids, or just line items, the way that you can, how you view your database. It's just fantastic. Also, as well, a big thanks to our top tier patroonies as well. As I mentioned, Odin Sword, but also Frank the Think Tank. Check out his Instagram, Moon Knight Visions with a Z. Fringe Night by Daniel Doing. He's just done an appearance at a Comic Con. Congratulations, Daniel. But you can check out his stuff. Support Fringe Night at patreon.com/Fringe Night 27. Daniel also does like pulp, like novelette, like stories about Fringe Night. It's awesome. So various media to and cosplay. So various media to celebrate his character. Finally, Drew Toombs on SoundCloud and Bandcamp. Go check out soundcloud.com/Toombs with a Z or Lurk Music with a CK. .bandcamp.com. And incidentally as well, I posted up in our group. Check it out. Drew is performing soon. I think he's in Detroit. I'm terrible with my geography, but go check out Drew's music. He'll be there amongst others. But have a drink with Drew. Chat about Moon Knight. It's all good. And finally, Dreamland Comics, use the code MOON and get 20% off their store. Finally, we're part of the collective. Rebecca, I forgot to ask any shout outs. You're very busy on Sons of the Dragon and DCAU.
Yeah, I'm still doing a fair amount of DCAU. I recorded a secret one with on your last Sons of the Dragon.
Yes.
I heard might show up some point, but it's not a scheduled one. So it's just be whenever there's a gap in your recording. So, but yeah, DCAU is my other one from this one at the moment. And Iron Fist one, I think I missed the last one because I was away.
Okay, I did listen to the one that you and Connor.
Oh no, yeah, I did do a really recent one with Arn. And there's a reason I forgot about it. Yeah, okay, I've just been on the most recent Iron Fist.
That's interesting. I haven't picked up that third issue yet, but it's interesting to hear. Actually, it's interesting to hear that it ends after issue 4. So
I think 5.
Oh, 5. Okay. Well, I'll get the rest. I mean, I might as well. It's but yeah, very much swordsman, right? So
yeah,
just change the title. It'll be good.
Yeah, it was actually, like I said, the most I enjoyed it, but it just didn't feel very Iron Fist yet.
Yeah,
so, it's still got 2 more issues. So
exactly. So go check them out. I'll put them in the show notes. CCAU and Sons of the Dragon, Immortal Iron Fist podcast. Finally, you can email us at feedback@itkmoonnight.com. We've got a website as well, itkmoonnight.com. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Discord, Get Vocal, and any stars, we don't mind. I mean, we're always amenable to improve the show too. So, Rebecca, I think that's it. A big thank you once again. I love chatting.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
I love chatting comics, especially this run, and when they're good as well, comics. Yeah. So, a huge thank you, everyone, as well. And as always, may Khonshu watch over the denizens of the night. Catch you later.
See you. Bye.
Moon Knight and affiliated characters, stories and events are properties of Marvel Characters Incorporated. Materials used and discussed within the podcast are intended for critique and review purposes only under the fair dealing concept of the current Copyright Act. The views, information or opinions expressed during the podcast are solely those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily represent those of the copyright owners.